everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Rhoda's Reflections. On this past Thursday, myself and my daughters had the opportunity to be a part of a virtual tea party. It's a Facebook show, and my friend Pastor Lisa is the director. She's the host of the show, and it's called Get Up, Girl Up. And in that virtual tea party, the show, we talked about just being a mother, how we parent our daughters, and daughters, how you live life with your moms, and we had a really great time. But on the conclusion of the talk show, she asked the girls a question, and she asked them if they could impart wisdom, or if they could tell the girls anything to help them. What would they say? So my 7-year-old started the conversation, and in that conversation, she said to be who you are, not to try to fit in. Don't change who you are to please someone else. And after she said that, the rest of the girls echoed her in saying the same thing, just in their way. And as a mother, I was honored. I was moved to tears, because I wish in my early stage that I had someone like her to be my friend, to help me when I went through my time where I wanted to change myself to fit in with another group that didn't like me. When I was in elementary school, I was bullied. And this young lady that bullied me, at that time, we didn't see it as bullying. We just saw that she had it out for me. And that's what we'd always say, why does she have it out for you? And I'm like, I don't have the slightest idea. But she attacked my image. She attacked the masterpiece that God made. And it took me a while to get out of that feeling of self-loneliness, self-unworth, that I wasn't enough to be her friend. And the more I tried to change who I was to get her to get off of me or to stop talking about me, the worse it got. And it took me years and years to figure out that I got to a point in my life where I didn't care any longer what she thought of me, because I knew what the word told me. But it took me time to get there. And my scripture that I held close to my heart was Genesis 1:27. And the first part of that scripture was, God created man in his image. God created a masterpiece because he created me in his likeness. But it took me a moment to understand that I was the masterpiece that God created. So once it took me that moment, I had to go through a transformation. I had to go through a transformation, a rebuilding. And I had to take off all this other stuff that wasn't reflecting him, that wasn't helping in my creation, in my masterpiece. I had to find myself. And child, when I got there, you couldn't tell me nothing, because I knew I was the masterpiece that God had created. You know, I have 4 friends that I've had since I was 10, 12, and they watched that transformation. And even one of the friends that I have, she would tell me that, I didn't like her when we first started, Tasha, because she was like, she was conceited. But I had to get to that point to erase all the negativity that I allowed this other young lady to put on me. I didn't like anything about me because of the image that she had put in my mind. So I had to go far left to make up from far right. I think now I'm kind of in a happy middle, but some people may tell you different. But I want you to know that you are a masterpiece made by God. And if you find yourself in that place where you're feeling you're not enough, or you need to change something to fit in, I'm telling you, you don't. You are more than enough. You are a masterpiece created by God, handcrafted for him, handcrafted by him. When you think of an artist, and I always think of a potter. not a person that sit. I think they're called a potter. They sit on the wheel and they have that thing that's spinning in front of them, and they have the clay and they're molding. And that's what God did for us. He molded us. He molded us in his image, and he was like, I don't want that. I'm gonna craft some more. I'm gonna put into them what I want them to have. And because we are God's masterpieces, we need to walk in that air. Walk in that light, knowing, I'm not finna do that for you, because I am a masterpiece made by God. I'm not finna change who I am, because I am a masterpiece made by God. And it took me time, even when I got older, I understood at that moment why that young lady had her just drilled me to the ground, was because someone did it to her. Someone was doing it to her as she was doing it to me. And I found out that people who are being bullied or who bullies were once the victim. And instead of being the victim and making they change, they want to inflict the same pain and hurt on someone else that was inflicted to them. I promised myself I wasn't going to be a victim, and I wasn't going to victimize anyone else, because I never wanted anyone to feel how I felt. I want people to feel like they are masterpieces as well. So know that you are created in God's image, and you are a masterpiece. And don't let anyone tell you different. Thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.